Hey guys, it's Daniel the Movie Buff, and here I am for my Boyhood spoiler-filled review. Now, I want to stress something before I start this spoiler-filled review of Boyhood. Now, I've said the word spoiler-filled a couple of times in this video already, so if you haven't seen Boyhood, I would definitely say go and see it, because it's a movie you should see as a film fan, whether you like it or not. And let me know what you think over at my spoiler-free review, which you can check out down here somewhere. I'll put a link. But I wanted to give my spoiler-filled thoughts on Boyhood. Now, for Boyhood, there's not a whole lot of spoilery things to talk about, so I want to talk about some particular moments that grabbed me or I thought were really good that maybe you wouldn't want to go into the film knowing. So this isn't particularly a spoiler-filled review, but this is like a spoiler-filled discussion about the film Boyhood, which you should see, by the way. Go and see it right now. Go on. Alright, so, I assume everybody who's still here has seen Boyhood. So, I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds if you haven't seen Boyhood to get out of here, and you can't say I didn't warn you. Okay, so Boyhood is a really enjoyable film. I really liked it, okay? I didn't give it my highest rating because there were some flaws to be had in the film. Whether you disagree with me or not, or agree with me, you know, I don't really mind. There were still things that detracted from my enjoyment of the film, but I still really liked several moments in it. I actually have a list of moments I really did like. And I feel like the film was, feel like the film should have been littered with these, which today it was, but I wanted more references like this, and just I wanted more of world building, which maybe we didn't get so much in this film. It was kind of a little contained story, about this family, so I want to mention, first off, I actually do want to mention the Star Wars reference. I think it's about in the middle of the film, when Ethan Hawke and Ella Coltrane are camping out all alone. They're mentioning Star Wars, and they're mentioning the possibility of another Star Wars film, a series, or just another Star Wars film. And I don't know about you guys, but when I saw that, I'm like, did they film this last year? Or in 2012, but I think this scene was filmed before the announcement that Disney bought Star Wars and was going to make another Star Wars series. But I just was like, oh, they predicted Star Wars. I don't know, that was just the ultimate moment for me in the film. And probably one of the best moments in the film, and probably the best, actually, I will say that. There are a lot of other little references like that to maybe things in your own life. There are a lot of great moments. I want to talk about the final scene with Patricia Arquette and Ella Coltrane. This is actually the last scene Patricia Arquette is seen in the film, and this is when Mason is going off to college to leave his mother behind, to leave his father. His sister's already left, and her mother has separated from from two people already. Actually, three people at this whole film, if you count Ethan Hawke. And Patricia Arquette's character, the mom of Ella Coltrane, feels like she hasn't got anything else to live for or to happen in her life, because her life's almost over, she feels like. And it's a very emotionally resonant scene that I have no doubt will stick with you. It stuck with me definitely even after the film was finished, because it really brings out the character that maybe we didn't see before, earlier in the film. Her worries, her, her kind of, how actually scared she is of life, and definitely very emotionally resonant and probably the most emotionally resonant scene in the film. So Mason's family is preparing for him to go off to college because they don't really know how long it'll be until they see him again. And there's this big party. They host this big party to farewell Mason, and one of his best friends is there as well. But it's kind of a culmination of, there are some characters you've seen earlier in the film. There are some characters you saw maybe 10 minutes before. They're all coming together to farewell Mason, and I thought that was really well done. And not only shows the commitment of the director, Richard Linklater, but shows the commitment of the actors who maybe didn't have to come back 1 year. Maybe they missed a couple of years in between, but they came back for this final kind of farewell to their characters, which I thought was really touching as well. So I want to talk about a couple of moments in the film that deal with drug abuse and alcohol abuse, and there's a couple of moments in the film that do deal with that kind of topic. In fact, during the film, Mason's mother marries two people who kind of seem to have problems with substance abuse, alcohol, ism. The first one, who's kind of an older man, really shows his true colors, and the actor who played that character, he could be fun one moment, and then he could turn around completely the next moment and just be so cruel that you really do hate him as a being. And I thought that was a really good job by that particular actor. I don't remember his name. I think it's some sort of Italian name. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I really thought the film subtly did a great job at dealing with messages like that. And it never really hit you with a solution to those problems either, which I thought was really good idea as well from the director, Richard Linklater. There's a lot of great dialogue throughout the film, and one of my favourite scenes that showcase the dialogue is it's kind of the first time we actually start to see some progress in Mason as a character. It's in the car with his sister, and his dad, played by Ethan Hawke. And Ethan Hawke is, just trying to get answers out of these kids. How was your week? Because he doesn't get to see them all the time. What have you been doing? How are your friends? And, it's one of the best performances, I think, from Ethan Hawke, of the year. I think I said that in my spoiler-free review. But I think this really showcases the great writing that is littered throughout the script. I actually think there are a lot of moments in the script that are genius. Boyhood is just it's definitely a nice bit of nostalgia, and you get lots of little references like the Star Wars one throughout the film. That you're like, oh, that's in it. And you kind of geek out. And fan out, because you're just like, oh, that's in the film. And there are definitely more little references that I noticed, but I don't know if I should talk about them here. But Boyhood's a great film, and I definitely recommend going to see it, because it is important. And as much as I didn't like it as much as everybody else, I definitely did like the film, and I gave it a positive review. So I don't understand, I don't necessarily understand the buzz of Boyhood. I think it's good, but just good, I guess. But Boyhood, good film. Definitely film I will be able to tell people to go and see, because maybe I don't love it. And I can definitely understand that. I just did elaborate flick. Anyway, guys, so once again, let me know what you thought of Boyhood. Let me know of any little references you found, and maybe we can discuss them in the comments. I'd love to do that. Alright, guys, that's been my spoiler-filled review of Boyhood. Something you definitely go and check out in theaters right now. Alright, guys, see ya.